Hello, everyone, and welcome back to class. I apologize for the delay as the class was preparing. We had a little bit of technical problems, but regardless, I hope that you will join us for this class. Okay, again, if you'll read the description, you can see today's going to be a grammar lesson on how to properly use the articles a, an, and the. Okay, so some of you might have a better idea of how to use these, and others of you might be a little bit confused. So we're going to try and resolve any doubts that you might have about these and practice using them in conversation, looking at quizzes and examples as well. Okay? So right now, if you have a reservation, now is your time to join. Those of you who do not have a reservation, you can join in just a moment, okay? So in just a moment, everyone will be able to join. Let's see who we have here. Welcome, Igor. How are you? Igor H.
Hi, I'm doing very well. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
It's been a long time.
No,
Okay.
2 minutes.
Yes. We also have Igor T. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Are you there? You might need to unmute your microphone. Igor T. Okay, we'll come back to you. Let's see. We also have Natalia returning. How are you, Natalia?
I'm okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice to have you back. And we have Goliath. Welcome, Goliath.
Hi.
Great. Nice to see you again. Let's see who else we have. Augustine.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome. Great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. And where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
Perfect. Perfect. Nice to have you in class. Okay, let's see who else we have. Constantine.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Great, great. And where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Welcome to the class. And we have Tatiana. How are you?
Hi everyone, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Nice to see you. And tell us where you're from.
I'm from Russia too.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for coming to the class. Again, today's class is about articles. So we're going to look at the rules of these articles, discuss the rules, try and explain them on our own, and then practice using them, okay? So any doubts that you have, please feel free to ask. Those of you who are more advanced might be able to help your classmates with any doubts, okay? So let me put the page on the screen. I might need to make it larger. So let me try and make this a little bit larger. Let me know if you can see it when I make it a little bit larger. Okay, so, oh, this is not working. Okay, I hope everyone can see that well. Let's go up to the top. Okay, so we're talking about using articles, how to use these articles correctly and naturally in everyday speech. So a lot of times, sometimes we get a and an confused, sometimes we get the and a confused, and sometimes we don't need an article and we put one there on accident or in unnecessary places. So today we're going to focus on those kind of problems. Please, again, if you have any questions, ask. Okay, so we'll go through the basics. Maybe this is new information for you, maybe it is review, but we'll just go through the basics at first, okay? So what is an article? The articles are adjectives. If we're talking about parts of speech, the and a and an are all adjectives, and they're used to describe these specific nouns, okay?
I'm
So
sorry.
the easiest, sorry, go ahead.
Can you send a link, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for reminding me because I meant to do that. Okay, so it's posted in the chat now. Let me know if you have any trouble seeing it. So you can either follow on my screen by clicking on that link right there, or you can click on my screen at the bottom. Okay, so and I'm going to ask. It says here, but what is the difference? Those of you who are in the class between the and a. What's the main difference?
A is indefinite and the is definite subject nouns.
Right, exactly. So what does that mean in real language?
A teacher means that I don't know this teacher, any teacher, and the teacher is someone that I know, I refer to.
Right, perfect, exactly. Okay, so when you say the teacher, you mean the specific teacher, one teacher that you mean specifically. And a teacher could be any teacher. Okay, exactly. And like it has in this example, let's read the book, meaning a specific book, or a book, meaning any book. Okay. So here's some example sentences with a and an. And let's see. We'll just practice reading these, just for a little bit of extra practice. Augustine, would you read the first example sentence?
Okay. A and an signal that the noun modified is indefinite, referring to any member of a group. For example, my daughter really wants a dog for Christmas. This refers to any dog. We don't know which dog because we haven't found the dog yet.
Okay, great. So let's think about how that sentence would change if we said, my daughter really wants the dog for Christmas. My daughter really wants the dog for Christmas. Now that's not a wrong sentence, but how does the meaning change?
The dog is a specific dog, is the dog, my dog, or a well-known a dog that we know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, Goliath, would you read the next one?
Sure. Somebody call a policeman. This refers to any policeman. We don't need a specific policeman. We need any policeman who is available.
Okay, excellent. And if you were to replace A with the, how would that change?
Somebody call the policeman. Maybe he's sitting there and I say the one is on shift.
Mm-hmm.
I want the policeman.
Exactly, perfect.
The one is behind the door or waiting or something. I know
right. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, and Igor H., would you read us the next one?
Yeah, when I was at the zoo, I saw an elephant.
Okay.
To read to the next?
If you'd like to, or you can explain it to us. Why do we use an elephant instead of the elephant?
Oh, because it's whatever elephant.
Mm-hmm. And if we said the elephant, what would that mean?
Elephant, that's person with who you speak know about that elephant. You and that person saw before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that could be it. Or there's one other way if you said, when I was at the zoo, I saw the elephant. Even if the other person doesn't know, if there's only one elephant at the zoo, then you might say the elephant.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So again, we're going just talking about a and an, and let's talk about the difference between those two, okay? Using a and an. It depends on the sound that begins the next word. So somebody in the class tell us how we know how to use a or an.
It's okay, go Tatiana.
If the word is starting with vowel sound, we will use article N. if the word starts with
Cancel.
console.
Cancel.
Sound
Right.
that it's starting with A.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so some of these are quite straightforward. They're very simple. So the first examples, we have a boy, a car, a bike, a zoo, a dog. All of those are consonant sounds, so we always use the A. Okay, next we have an elephant, an egg, an apple, an orphan. Those are all vowel sounds, so we use an. The more complicated things are when we have a word that starts with a vowel, but not with a vowel sound. So this example, you can see the word user. The word user starts with U, which is a vowel, but user has that Y sound at the beginning, which is actually a consonant. Okay, so we don't say an user, we say a user. So remember, it starts, or it depends on the consonant sound or the vowel sound, not the actual letter itself. Okay, same principles seen here. A university. So not an university, a university, or a unicycle. Okay, and the same thing happens with an. If you have something that starts with a consonant, but even though there's a consonant, there's a vowel sound. So our, the H is silent. So instead of a hour, it's an hour. Okay, any questions about that?
No.
Everything's clear?
So for a hero, we say a hero.
Right, a hero, because the H is pronounced.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you have to think about the sound, not just the letter. Okay, another thing to think about is acronyms. Okay, what is an acronym?
Words we don't use in those days, in our days.
Like old words?
Yeah.
Okay, not exactly. An acronym isn't really an old word.
It's a first letter of some of words. For example, CIA.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so an acronym is a combination of letters that are the first letters of words. So another example might be USA. Okay, so all kinds of acronyms. So we have to think about this idea with acronyms. Okay, so how do we know whether to choose a or an in front of acronyms?
First letter. We look at first letter, no?
Okay, the first letter, maybe. So what do you mean?
Main word.
The main word?
Yeah.
So like the first word, you mean?
No, not the main noun. Okay.
But here we have an SPCC plan, so it doesn't start with a vowel.
Maybe the first sound.
Right. Okay. So remember, we don't care about the letter. What we care about is the sound. So we see an SPCC plan. Okay, so S, the first letter, is a consonant, but think about the sound that makes up that letter, S. S starts with an E sound, S. Okay, so that E sound is a vowel sound. Because it's a vowel sound, we start with an. An, S-P-C-C. Okay? So again, if we have at the beginning, it says an, M, S, D, S. Okay, so M kind of sounds like it starts with an E or an I sound, M. So we start with an, M-S-D-S. Okay, was there a question?
No.
So always with the acronyms we use an.
I'm trying to think if there's any letters that start with a consonant sound. About the letter B. So B doesn't start with a vowel sound. So if you had an acronym that started with B, then you would use A. Like A, B, S, B. Okay, so it depends on the sound. A lot of letters, B, D, K, all of those start with consonant sounds.
Like BMI, body mass index.
Exactly. So for BMI, you would use A BMI measurement. Okay? Other questions?
No.
Okay, great. So let's look at this next one. Another instance where we use a and an. And this one a lot of times gets complicated when you're talking about English as a second language, because a lot of other languages don't use an article. For example, I am a teacher. I am a teacher, not just I am teacher. Or I am an engineer instead of I am engineer. Okay, so the sentence here says, the indefinite articles are used to indicate membership of a group. So a group of teachers, because that's a profession. It says Brian is an Irishman, so that's a group of people. Or Siko is a practicing Buddhist, okay, another group of people, a religious group. So use a and an to refer to groups of membership. Okay, and there's a lot of rules, but I'm hoping that some of them you're familiar with, and that once we start practicing, it'll all make sense. Any questions about the membership, groups of membership? Okay. Okay, let's talk about the. So the is the other one, of course. It is the definite one. So how we've talked about changing things from a to the changes it from non-specific to specific. Okay. And the top here is review, but let's talk about count and non-count nouns. Okay, you can read over here a little bit, or you can think about your previous knowledge. But which do we use for count or non-countable nouns? Anybody? So what does it mean, first of all, countable or non-count nouns?
It means that if the noun is countable, we can count and say that, for example, there are 5 apples, and if the noun is uncountable, that means that it's something abstract, something that we can't count. For example, sugar or water, because we can't say 5 waters. Or
right.
Something like this.
Exactly. Okay, so let's first think about this idea of count and non-count nouns to make sure that we have a clear idea of what that means. Okay, so give us some more examples, anybody in the class, about count nouns. What are some examples of count or countable nouns? Could be anything.
Road, man, person.
Great. Any other examples?
Fruits, vegetables.
Okay, perfect. And about non-count nouns, what are some non-count or non-countable nouns?
Sugar,
Love.
salt,
Milk.
Water.
Water.
Lemonade.
Money.
Money, that's a good one. Anything else?
Love.
Love.
Love is uncountable?
Advice.
Well, can you have 10 love?
Yes. You can.
Possibly. That's what I always try to think about. If you want to figure out if something's countable, you say, I have 10 something. I have 10 dogs, I have 10 people, 10 something. If it makes sense, then it's countable. If it doesn't, 10 water, 10 sugar, 10 grass, doesn't make sense. So it must be non-countable. Okay, so which article, according to our document or according to your knowledge, do we use for non-countable nouns?
no article.
We don't use an indefinite article before uncountable nouns.
Right, exactly. So we do not use the indefinite article before uncountable nouns. And you said, I'm not sure who it was, but you mentioned that we can use no article in front of non-countable nouns, which is true. We can use no article, or we can use which one?
A definite article.
The definite,
Them.
right.
Say, I want to have, or I need water, not the water. We don't need
Right.
articles in.
There's two ways that you can do it. So you can say, I need water. In that case, you don't need any kind of article. I need water. Or you can use the or the. You can use the depending on the situation. It changes the content. So look at this example. And let me ask, let me see. Konstantin, would you like to read us the first example here under the...
I love to sail this one.
Yes, this one.
I love to sail over the water, some specific body of water. Or I love to sail over water, any water.
Okay, excellent. So we have the two ways that you could say this sentence, with the or without the. Okay, so you couldn't use the indefinite and use a. You have to use either no article or an article. And how does it change the meaning, Konstantin, using an article or not using an article?
If we use the definite article, it means that we mean some specific water. The water that that we know, for example, as I understand, and if we don't use any articles, it means that we mean all the water as all the water as a material.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so if we use that article, we're talking about a specific water, a specific body of water. Okay, I love to sail over the water. So maybe you like to sail in one specific lake. Okay, or I love to sail over water, just meaning I love to sail. I love to sail in any place, in any type of water.
What is body of water?
A body of water means an ocean, a lake, a river, some type of form of.
Okay.